I came into his world inside that hospital room. I wasn't always at my best. I sometimes resented that I couldn't break down. But after a while, I started to see how rapidly he was getting better. And although our paths weren't congruent, we were making it work. I was coming around. It was shaky and scary, but when Jim walked out of the hospital on crutches, he stubbornly refused the wheelchair. Only 6 weeks after he was rushed by ambulance to the ER, we decided there was something more to his healing than just dumb luck. One of those early books that influenced Jim was Seligman's Flourish, a psychologist and former president of the American Psychology Association. Seligman was responsible for defining the term PERMA, the root of many positive psychology research projects around the world. The acronym stands for the 5 elements essential to lasting contentment. Positive emotion: peace, gratitude, satisfaction, pleasure, inspiration, hope, curiosity, and love fall into this category. Engagement: losing ourselves in a task or project provides us with a sense of disappeared time because we are so highly engaged. Relationships: people who have meaningful, positive relationships with others are happier than those who do not. Meaning: meaning comes from serving a cause bigger than ourselves. Whether it's a religion or a cause that helps humanity in some way, we all need meaning in our lives. Accomplishment/achievement: to feel significant life satisfaction, we must strive to better ourselves. We slowly brought these 5 tenets back into our lives. Jim returned to Wilfrid Laurier University in Ontario to research neuroscience, and we promptly started up Plasticity Labs to help teach others what we'd learned about the pursuit of happiness. As our lives came to include more empathy, gratitude, and meaning, I stopped feeling sad. So when I see skepticism directed at the positive psychology movement, I take it personally. Do these critics have a problem with gratitude, relationships, meaning, hope? Perhaps part of the problem is that we oversimplify happiness in our pop culture and media, which makes it easy to discard as unproven. As Vanessa Biot, a postdoctoral fellow in social psychology, put it to me in an email, one of the misconceptions about happiness is that happiness is being cheerful, joyous, and content all the time, always having a smile on your face. It's not. Being happy and leading rich lives is about taking the good with the bad and learning how to reframe the bad. In fact, in the recent article in the Journal of Experimental Psychology, Emo Diversity and the Emotional Ecosystem, by Harvard researcher Jordi Quadbach, found that experiencing a wide range of emotions, both positive and negative, was linked to positive mental and physical well-being. Not only do we tend to misunderstand what happiness is, we also tend to chase it the wrong way. Sean Achor, the researcher and corporate trainer who wrote the HBR article, Positive Intelligence, told me that most people think about happiness the wrong way. The biggest misconception of the happiness industry is that happiness is an end, not a means. We think that if we get what we want, then we'll be happy. But it turns out that our brains actually work in the opposite direction. Biot agrees. We sometimes tend to see being happy as the end goal, but we forget that what's really important is the journey, finding out what makes us the happiest, and regularly engaging in those activities.